Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is Peter Han with Superani, and I just wanted to spend just a little bit of time with you guys to give you some updates, some information of events that are coming up real soon. Things like the Comic-Con in New York, and also as a workshop as well too. Things about information of classes, and also just generally how I'm doing, as well as a quick tour of my office space and room. Had to give you guys a bit of insight as to how I just run my day to day.
How are you, Peter?
In terms of the beginning of this year has been a quite tumultuous time. I'm doing well, and it's been a couple of months of recovery from my recent medical condition. But you guys can go on my YouTube channel. You'll find a longer video there that will go into more details of specifically what I had actually gone through, and also some of the treatments and processes that I actually did to get back to somewhat of a normalcy. And thankfully, I am back. So eyes are good, feeling good, and I'm hoping to spend more time with you guys, hopefully in person and also online, to do a lot more work with you guys.
So, how would you rate yourself in terms of strength? How are you feeling?
Yeah, in terms of feeling of strength, when I first got this, I was laid out on my bed and I could not even really move. I had struggle breathing. I couldn't see very well. So I spent pretty much a month off from even drawing. And to be honest with you guys, this is the longest I've gone without drawing in my entire life. And I've been drawing since the age of 5. But slowly but surely, through the help of many others, friends, family, my wife, they really got me on my feet, and slowly started recovering, getting my strength back. Did a lot of PT, exercise work. I've starting to get back to that hopeful strength that I've had in the past couple of years. But getting there, and the road is still a little bit longer, but definitely a lot stronger today than I was just a few months ago.
So, would you say you feel about 80 to 90%
Yeah,
recovered?
I'm definitely 80 to 90% there, and hopefully I'll get to that 100%. And what that 100% will be for me is just having my routine of day to day getting out and just doing normal stuff, but also being able to interact with people again on, different sort of events and conventions, which I missed out on this year. This whole summer, I've been pretty much in my house, not doing anything except my own internal stuff. So getting out was going to be a good sort of refresh for my brain for sure.
So, can you please let us know what's the upcoming events?
So upcoming events for this month of October in 2025 will be the New York Comic Con, and that will be an event that I've attended before once previous year. I will be in the Artist Alley with Dong Ho Kim under Superani, as well as many other artists that you'll be able to kind of come and find at that location. I will be doing commissions, open commissions also. Please contact the Superani team under email if you guys are interested in stuff like this. But I'll be there to do basically to hang out, sign books, and to talk with people, do Q&A, live drawing as well too. But at Comic-Con, which is always going to be a really fun and crazy time, the day before, which is going to be the Wednesday evening, I will be doing a workshop with Dong Ho Kim under Superani. It'll be a private, more in-person, sort of intimate event, and I'll be doing a kind of a more one-on-one kind of hands-on approach towards my methods and processes, how I sketch and draw.
So, it will be a 2-hour lecture per artist, 2 hours for you, 2 hours for Tong Ho. Can you please explain why we're doing this in New York?
Yeah, so this event that's coming up in New York, the workshop that will be happening on Wednesday, it's been an annual event for Superani that's been going on for up to 6 years, and they took a break from the previous year, obviously due to the reasons, of Chungi passing. And we wanted to come back and basically reestablish this sort of in-person meet up and meet and greet, but also to just be able to work with the Superani artist as well too, as a continuance of his legacy, and to make sure that the established footprint that he left behind, we can pick up and carry on as well too, as a team, as no longer as just individuals just trying to do our own thing, but a continuance of as a group together because of someone like Jungi that really put it together for us. So if you guys want to come join us for that workshop, you'll be more than welcome to do so. Look it up and research in terms of where it's going to be, the time available as well too. Everyone's welcome in terms of experience levels. This is not just for people that have like high skills in drawing and whatnot. This is for anybody who's interested in wanting to know more about the industry and how artists work and what we do day to day, and how we also just apply our methods onto paper.
Great. So, are you open to take any commissions? during New York Comic Con?
Yeah, so during Comic Con, I'll be there from Thursday to Sunday, which will be the full time of the event. I will be at the Artist Alley table, and I'll be sitting next to Dong-Ho Kim, and I will be also doing commission work primarily. I'll be there to sign books for the Dynamic Bible, which will be available, but also be there to do the open commission, which you can contact again through email, the Superani team. And in terms of commissions, I'm usually open. There'll be black and white and color. Pricing, you can contact them and you'll find out more information from them.
Great. So after we're done with New York Comic Con, we're gonna take a few days of a break, and then we'll be back for Lightbox.
Yes. Lightbox will be coming up that week after, and I will also be at that event. This has been an annual tradition I have not missed since the starting of Lightbox. I'll be also there with the rest of the team. Hyunjin Kim will be the manager. Again, Dongho will be with me as well too. Eliza will also be present, and we'll be together as a team and doing the same sort of approach to New York, which is, again, commission work, signing of books, meet and greet, in-person kind of talks. I will be doing also a lecture at Lightbox as well too. And who knows, schedule isn't fully 100% concrete just yet, but I plan to be involved as much as I can. And thankfully, at this point, I'm able to do so. I'm just happy that I can even be present. So.
Awesome. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for fans to meet with Peter in person, since it was his almost first time skipping on San Diego Comic Con this year.
Yeah, I'm missing San Diego Comic Con. I was quite sad about that. I've been doing Comic Cons since 2008. I graduated Art Center, the college, when I was 24 years old, and that was in 2004. And I started working full-time in the game industry. And in 2008, I got my first opportunity to go to San Diego Comic Con because I lived there. So my office mate asked me to come into Artist Alley. And since then, I've been an annual sort of presence in Artist Alley at that time. So this year was the first time I had missed Comic-Con San Diego due to these reasons, other than COVID here. But even then, COVID year, I was walking around and present at Comic-Cons. So not being there, but also not being there with the rest of the team was quite unfortunate and something I missed a lot. So thankfully, we can come together for Lightbox in New York. And hopefully next year, San Diego, we'll come back together again, make it even bigger, make it greater, and make myself stronger from there.
Awesome. So, do you think you're ready to show us what you're gonna go over during lecture?
It is something I'd like to go into more detail about, specifically in terms of what we're going to be doing, maybe some examples, some of the processing, maybe even about some of the materials that you might want to bring, and what to look forward to, basically.
Okay, so let's get to it.
Yeah, sounds good. I wanted to get into some more details about the workshop coming up at New York and to show you guys some examples and talk a bit more about the details specifically within the materials and just the process as to what we'll actually engage in person at the time during the workshop. Now, that actual experience in itself will be about 2.5 hours, and I'll be there to lecture, but also to give you a bit more of a hands-on approach to kind of give you guys some guidance and advice and some things to help adjust the approach as to what you guys do on paper. So obviously the foundation that I teach in dynamic sketching is a very familiar process, and that's what this book is about. It contains a lot of my lecture notes and processes that are readily available and familiar to you guys, whether it's on live streams and classes that I offer, but also in the book itself. Now, we can go into the details of the book in just a moment, but let's go into the materials first again. What I usually recommend are in sketchbooks such as this, but during the workshop, honestly, whatever you guys want to bring as a material is perfectly fine. Whatever kind of papers and pens, but I'll talk about why we're using pens specifically at this point, but also where you can also bring some diverse things as well too. This particular sketchbook is a Strathmore, and it comes in various tones, tone tan, the gray, and just even white paper. This is the 400 series, and it's the 9x12 dimension. And you'll see a lot of my notes and lectures and demos in here that I filled up with previous classes that I've offered. So this is a book that I also personally use, not just for also classwork, but just personal studies as well. So it's a good paper. The reason why I recommend it is because it's also readily available. Any art stores usually have them. You can find them online very easily. And the cost is actually not that high. So a highly recommended book. It's a good paper. It's a bit thin, so it's only really good to draw on one side. But if it's only pen, drawing on both sides is okay. But you'll start to see in here about some of the methods of breaking down shapes and forms. And this is what the, again, dynamic sketching sort of method is all about. Being able to show you how to visualize and to see shapes and forms, to observations of many different subject matters, of animals, to insects, to even mechanical things as well too. And through that process of being able to break things down, hopefully your visualization and also visual memory start to build from that, which then basically continues with your confidence boosting, line confidence as well too, and your ability to just draw out of your mind with a lot more sense of efficiency. So we'll still cover those grounds, and this book right here will be a good one to have with you during the workshop. So if you're able to get one of these Strathmore Tone Pen sketchbooks, great. The Tone 10 is not, doesn't have to be the priority. It can be the white paper as well too. I just like the Tone Tan paper because it's more tradition. Traditions of the class that came from Art Center, you know, my mentor Norm would also use these sort of tan paper because we can go down in value and then up in value with a highlight tool like a Prismacolor or just white. Beyond just the Tone Tan book, you could also try to obtain one of these if you like. This is the Cottonwood Arts Recycled Notebook. This is a local brand based here in LA. It's a mom and pop shop. They make some really good products. Price, of course, is a little bit higher, a little bit harder to obtain again, but if you're able to find some online, I would even recommend this book because the paper is a lot thicker, it's smooth, it would take, takes in marker really well, different sort of wet media. So it's a nice sketchbook to have on hand just to try out if you guys are interested. But again, if you're looking for something more readily available, you want to get more quantity of, the Strathmore book is going to be best. Beyond that, there are other options as well too. You could just get a clipboard, you know, like this, just regular white paper. For all I care, even printer paper is okay. As long as it's, you know, smooth enough and you have a good abundance of paper, that's going to be more than enough for the workshop. And again, during the workshop, you're going to be drawing with me. So it's not just sit and listen kind of thing. I want you guys to engage and participate, ask questions, but also to produce. And so that way I can come around and see what you guys are doing. But again, a clipboard is going to be handy. You can kind of carry it with you on hand, easy to get around with. But also if you're going to do some observational drawing at some point, which even in the workshop, we can attempt to do so. I may bring in some small items here and there. So as we do demos, we can not only just talk about looking at photographs, but looking at actual physical things. So to give you an idea about how that kind of works and what that entails, there's a section in here, this book. For instance, this page that covers some of the insects and bugs, breaking down shapes and forms of 3 dimensions of structure. You know, I may bring in stuff like this, you know, little toys of, you know, insect forms and whatnot. I have various other stuff that are more posed as well too, which is really great. But something like this we can then use to be able to actually observe, look at, break down, and then apply towards paper and being able to visually build a memory towards it, try to turn things in space, and then go beyond that an additional step, which I'm going to get into right now. So if you have a copy of this book, I would probably bring it with you. Because this section does have, again, things like the shape and the form building, things of detail, surfacing, texture, and then, of course, things like insect forms and whatnot. So here, you'll be able to use this as a way to kind of, you know, carry with you as notes of information of further foundations of stuff that we may not all cover, but like I said, I'll touch upon it lightly within the workshop itself. For those of you that are joining for the first time, coming into a workshop, not really having drawn a lot, that's where, again, I'll still be able to kind of help you out in transitioning in that bridge. But beyond that foundation level, we'll also then go into the application. So what do we use this for? You know, the workshop about dynamic sketching is one thing, and if we learn how to draw and how to break things down, well, you know, beyond that, what do we go with it? So this is where stuff like this comes into play, books like this here, which kind of covers into more the idea of imagination. So during the workshop, I like to be able to also not only just demo how we observe and break things down, but also put them into creative aspects of either storytelling or design or visual sort of like illustration work, where a book like this one here kind of captures my imagination of exploring different sort of nature and animals and creatures that are just being made up, but also obviously represented from real context of animals. And a lot of this is done through my own travels, going out into like Africa, and then going to different places that might, you know, give me a lot of nature, wildlife. So I use that inspiration in observational sketching and drawing, breakdown, and all that inspiration and fuel to be able to then creatively output it onto a page like this. So, you know, will we be doing this specifically in the workshop? I'll touch upon it. I'll probably bring a book like this with me, and I'll go into certain other area of extra, you know, curricular top level studies, like even watercolor. If people want to talk about it, we'll discuss it. But this kind of shows you now the direct application where it's observation, study, and then use towards imagination as well too. So the workshop covers that kind of tier within basic level to then how we study, how we process it in mind, and then be able to approach it towards and creatively applying it to whatever needs that we want to go towards. Whether you're interested in becoming a professional or even just a hobbyist. This day and age, I think people are just interested in art, especially traditional stuff. Where technology coming in right now seems to be a bit of a threat. People seem to want to turn back to more of the traditional ways. So there's definitely not a decline in interest within sketching, drawing traditionally. There's definitely an increase in what I've seen. So hopefully this workshop will give you a lot of insight towards that and give you guys a great experience working with me, working with Dong Ho Kim, to be able to see the many different ways of using our foundational methods into how we also apply them to the creative methods. So beyond that, once you show up to the workshop, of course, more questions will be involved and welcome and ready for me to respond to, especially questions about materials, questions about the process, and questions about the future, even for your own education beyond that. Today, at this point, this is, I'm hitting past my 15th year teaching within this method. And also, now working with Superani for so many years and being friends, I want to make sure I want to continue to be readily available for you guys. We'll try to do more feature events as well too. For this year, being a part of the workshop at New York, then of course at Comic-Con from there afterwards. And then from there, Lightbox is also coming up for the end of the year, which is, our kind of research is back into getting into the involvement working with people, especially for me after this whole year. But next year again, we'll continue on and try to make more of these available under Kazone and Superani at Comic-Cons in San Diego to New York. And for myself, teaching online as well too. Classes will continue. I will be readily available there as well. I'll be coming back at the end of this year to teach, and so you guys can go to my YouTube channel to find more just sort of examples of how the live streams work. Go to my website, peterhanstyleart.com. Follow my Instagram. You'll find more information there. And beyond that, I hope you guys will enjoy the workshop. I hope you guys will enjoy the process of being there. And we'll have a lot of fun just hanging out, talking, sketching, working together. And you'll get a deeper sense of just how I approach this day to day, what my mindset is like, and also just how to even overcome certain things like adversities, especially when it comes to personal health, certain experiences that you're going through, even talking about industry, talking about education, where to actually even find opportunities. We'll go into all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys there, and have fun.